In a place far, hidden and dark lies a city burning with light and mystery. Some of its believers wondered what it was like to step outside of the darkness they lived in, and fortunately, two curious children had their dreams come true. Inside a white-coated hallway, a man hurriedly moved as he consciously scanned his surroundings. He entered a room, and with him was a metal box he held firmly. Other scientists were also present as he opened the box. The man then put a note and a glass sheet inside it and requested for its security. They intended to keep the box safe for the next 200 years. They also made the mayors keep it and for them to be passed it on to the next successors. However, the box was stolen and was eventually neglected. As the years passed, no one was aware the box had even existed until the day it finally opened. In an underground city filled with light bulbs, people gathered and lived their lives like normal. The boy named Dune was excited because today he would receive his very first task. Suddenly, the lights shut, which surprised the father and son. The father counted the time it took for the generators to reactivate, and soon the lights went on again. However, Dune was concerned about the happenings, and he concluded the abnormality in the supply was due to the generators giving up. With that, he was determined to get a place inside the generator plant and see. One was running late during this momentous occasion. The girl named Lena hurried to the hall just in time and swiftly blended in with the other children. They then began the glorious dissemination of the task, with Dune and Lena each wishing to pick the task they had always wanted. However, both were disappointed, for Lena was assigned to pipework, while Dune was a messenger. After the ceremony, Dune approached Lena and tried to convince her to swap position, which the girl was greatly thankful for. She then excitedly went home to tell the news to her loved one. Meanwhile, Dune arrived home and received a gift from his father. He then questioned what it was for, but he only received words of wisdom from his father in which he had no interest. Dune went outside to relax when he heard wings flapping nearby. He then saw an injured giant moth and helped it to recover. Lena, on the other hand, was lulling her sister, Poppy, to sleep as their makeshift recorder roared. When the child slept, she then took out her prized possession and painted what she imagined what the sky would look like. The next day, Lena excitedly went to her first day at work. She was happy to become a messenger and was very eager to start the day. However, Dune was the complete opposite of her, who was not gloomily making his way into the pipes. One worker gave him his supplies and warned Dune to be watchful all the time. Meanwhile, Lena kept on running around the place and was enjoying her time. She ventured into the gardening area, where her first message was to be sent. As she told the news, they heard screams from outside. A man then emerged from the darkness and swore he saw a huge creature which attacked him. Before he could speak any further, the authorities arrived and escorted the man away. Lena questioned the man's decision to venture into the dark, remembering her father had also done the same. Lena's friend encouraged her to be strong and not think too much. When everyone scattered, Lena was about to leave when she saw what the man had left behind. Curious, she secretly took it with her and left for the city center. Meanwhile, Dune was at his job, but his mind was wandering over to what it would be like in the generator plant. He wanted to sneak into that place, and to do that, he secretly took his senior's blueprint. He wandered into the piping hall, and he was very conscious of the noises that the walls made. Soon, he saw a dark tunnel and proceeded to investigate what was inside. However, Dune discovered its door was locked, but he was determined to get to the other side. So, Dune tried to climb over the ceiling, but what greeted him was darkness. Dune arrived at a dark storage room filled with their supplies. He was fascinated by the place and wanted to learn more when another worker arrived and scolded him. Dune was then rudely dragged outside and threw him away. Defeated, Dune thought it was best for him to return when suddenly the light failed and everyone panicked. Lena, unfortunately, was one of the scared citizens. She hid and hugged a post for her dear life, and soon Dune arrived to comfort her. When the lights came back, she frantically informed him of the earlier events. But Dune was asked to return to work before he could even reply. Lena tried to return home, but she was astonished the interval of the blackout has lengthened. Lena then dashed home after relaying the message, and she discovered her grandmother was frantic about something. Meanwhile, Dune arrived at the generator and discovered it had been in flames. All of the workers were in total panic as parts of the machine fell apart. Lena's grandmother, on the other hand, was desperately searching for something that she noted was important. She stated that the object had come from her great-grandfather and that it was precious. Stressed out, Lena instead searched for her sister first, but she also accidentally discovered the box Poppy was playing with. When she held the box and the nanny saw it, she was ecstatic it was found. However, when Lena wanted to ask what the box was for, the granny had forgotten the importance of its content. At break time, Dune tried to approach his classmate from the generator team, but the other shut him out and said the repairs were useless. Lena continued with her job, but the light inside of her was slowly fading. Soon, she received another job, and this time, the message was addressed to the mayor. She immediately went to the meeting hall and requested to see the man. As they passed by the portraits of some of the former mayors, Lena could not help but comment on her relations with the former 7th mayor. But soon, when she was presented in front of the current mayor, he and his gang made fun of Lena's bloodline. They belittled their family's name, saying they were fitting for the messenger's position. However, Lena quieted them down when she stood the mayor of the message. Afterward, she was dismissed, but before she left, she inquired about the box in the painting. Despite her eagerness to learn, she did not get a reply to her questions. Lena then returned to her center, but she overheard something that scared her. Dune, however, tried to reason with his father and stated the generators would fail them soon, and in his voice was total panic and worry. At home, Lena took the mysterious box and examined its content, but the note it has been destroyed, so she had a hard time identifying its use. To somehow solve her problem, Lena met up with her friend and asked for help. Unfortunately, the other was also clueless like herself. It suddenly went dark again, which this time scared Lena's granny. Lena reassured the grandma, reassuring her as she said the item had been found. Lena wanted to know the truth about the box, but her granny's condition was stopping her curiosity. When she was about to give up, fortunately, some parts of the note were salvaged. This time Lena could slowly make sense of the remaining notes. Lena tried to reattach its content, but once again, the lights failed. Together with her sister, they went to their grandmother to check on her. However, the sweet lady had already left her grandchildren. Lena and her sister had now moved in with their neighbor. Stressed and in pain, Lena could not help but voice out her worries during dinner. Of course, the kind-hearted lady encouraged her to be positive. She deeply believed that soon help would be on its way. With new hope in her heart, Lena tried to piece the puzzle once again. This time, as she slowly made her way, she realized she needed Dune's help. Together, they sneaked inside their school and took the ceremonial book the great builders had left for them behind. They discovered the book had the same writing as her notes, but they escaped before they were caught by the keeper. At home, Lena showed the note to Dune, to which he believed stated where the exit was located. To prove her assumption, Dune escorted Lena back to the suspicious tunnel he discovered. But before they could enter the locked room, they saw something that was far from their imaginations. Curious about the being, Lena and Dune followed its tracks. However, their plan backfired, and now they were on the run for their lives. Dune ushered Lena up the ceiling and he attempted to lure the creature instead. However, the creature decided to follow Lena up inside the storage room. When the creature tried to attack Lena, Dune arrived and saved the girl. Together, they went back into the workers' dressing chamber, where Lena discovered her dad's story of supposedly drowning. She consulted her worries to a friend and cried her longing away. The woman could not bear to see the sweet child cry, so she led her to a secret chamber where she talked about her father's plans. His plan to seek a way out was too much for him, and it cost him his life. Tired of the events, Lena realized it was time to let the authorities handle this problem, which the friend greatly supported. At a ceremony, Lena arrived and witnessed the mayor's proposal. His great plan involved wanting to form a team with the task of searching for the reasons for the blackout. However, his plans did not reassure Lena and her judgment. She then tried to figure out a solution by herself. But seeing her friends good, Lena was filled with questions about how she got them. When she learned about the truth, she immediately looked for Dune and relayed the mystery. Together, they went back to the secret tunnel and pried open the locks. Finally, they entered it, and inside that locked door laid hundreds of preserved goods. Mesmerized, the children examined the place. However, they also discovered the mayor was inside, and was asleep due to a food coma. They ran out of the place, and immediately went to Lena's place. Lena requested for Dune to play the recording, but what he heard in it made things clear to him. Dune ran to his father, confronting him, and wanted to learn the whole truth. When the father learned about the possibility of a way out, he was also eager to find the remaining clues. Lena made her way to the mayor's office, and there, she spoke with the vice mayor and told him of the mayor's plans. But she did not expect the other was an accomplice in the scheme. Lena was roughly escorted to the mayor's room. Inside, the mayor was intrigued when he saw the box with her. When the bad guys were about to apprehend Lena, she managed to escape with the remaining key to the puzzle. With her escape and the possibility of her talking, the mayor ordered Lena and Dune's capture. Lena ran for her life as the authorities seized after her. The guards were not only after her but also Dune. Now, the two children were on the run as the authorities searched the place. When the authorities learned of their possible hideout, they trashed the garden just to search for the two. The vice mayor even warned the sweet lady and requested she told the truth. At that moment, Dune was slowly creeping his way to escape, which later almost endangered their safety. But once cleared, and was now inside the secret room, Dune questioned their next plan. Lena was only focused on the contraption hidden under the thick blanket. Dune was greatly intrigued by the mysterious item. So, he examined the device, and when he saw it, he quickly identified it as his father's invention. Dune boarded the makeshift vehicle and encouraged Lena to hop in. Soon, they were off to find the rest of the path and the way out. Meanwhile, the other citizens were gathered by the city's center. When Dune and Lena arrived at the end of the tunnel, the city's people were oblivious and just sang along to commemorate their beloved city. By this time, Dune had identified where the exit could be located, and stated they had to hurry. But Lena realized she could not leave without her sister. At the gathering, Lena then tried to call out to Poppy, and the girl obediently followed the call. Now, they ran towards the generator in hopes of finding the answers. When they arrived at the plant, Dune struggled in opening the door. They tried to ask another worker for help, but he had nothing as well. As Dune struggled, Lena could not help but think something was missing. She observed each clue, slowly analyzing the possibilities, until she found another one. They found another way out, and now they were in a hurry. As they searched, a hatch suddenly opened, allowing them to look at what was inside. Doubtful, they reread the instructions, and as they turned the mechanism on, more boat-like structures appeared. They observed how it operated until they were led to the generator plant. They expected the boats to just safely move towards the waterway, but it was blocked. So, they reread the script and discovered they had to venture into the control room first. So, they went in, climbed up the staircase, and were finally greeted by the control room facility. They followed the step accordingly, expecting to turn out fine. However, the wheels broke, which hindered their plans. When the alarms were triggered, the awakened worker tried to fix the problem. Concerned for his senior, Dune went to his assistant. When they finally made it working, Dune tried to coax the man into going with it. Suddenly, the strong surge of power caused the bulbs to burst, which later scared the other citizen. Meanwhile, the strong water flow made Dune slip. Lena rushed down to meet up with him as the man tried his best to save Dune. Soon, the water level kept on rising, and soon, the fountain above was finally restored to its original state. Dune tried to reason with his coworker once more, requesting for them to leave the place together, but the other was stubborn. So, Dune had no choice but to board the boat together with Lena and Poppy. When the worker saw the kids were in trouble, he maneuvered the wheels to go faster, which caused a huge wave to erupt. The waves pushed the children's boat up the turbines, and now they were off to the exit point. On the other hand, the greedy mayor had arrived at the hidden bunker. His trusted servant gave him the keys and expected the mayor to take him along. However, the mayor was cold-hearted and left his servant alone. Once inside, the greedy mayor thought he was finally safe. However, he did not expect the creature was also inside. And like his goods, he was also consumed by the said creature. Meanwhile, the children were now on their way out. The ride, however, was very bumpy and gave the children a hard time maneuvering. But at the end of the roller coaster ride, they were finally near the exit to that place. At the top, they entered a big waiting room, supposedly where all would gather. Soon, they followed the steps and were finally escorted out. But all that greeted them was darkness, which disappointed the children dearly. However, what they witnessed once they awoke was a breathtaking sunrise they had never seen but longed before. It was a glorious view, with hundreds of colors dancing right before their eyes. They finally witnessed how deep their city was from the top. Lena wanted the others to learn about this paradise. So, they left their hopes on a rock, and fortunately, it found its way to a new believer. And thus, Dune, Lena, and Poppy ventured into the unknown world with excitement and wonder.